Okay, we're going to go ahead and bend apart with a little more advanced steps here using the SolidWorks model converted as an ACES SAT file. Now I'm already in my Bybend software. I'm going to go to the Bybend part 3D. I'm just going to click on it right there. Top tool is not set, and that's no big deal there. We just don't have any defined. I'm going to go ahead and open up and pull down my file. And now I'm just going to do a quick unfold. And I'm going to select my tooling. If I click on the top bottom tool details, I can go ahead and see what options I have. There's all the punches and all the dies that will currently work. And I'm going to go ahead and grab the 362 special for this. Let's go ahead and try the 353 and see what shows up here. That one's a better choice. Has a little bit bigger radius, but it may or may not work. We'll find out. Gives me a good bend allowance there. It's green, means the software knows exactly what to do. Say OK. Now I've got my generated flat blank over in this window. Now I'm going to go ahead and export this to the Bybend. And I'm going to use automatic technology and see what it comes up with. Now currently this is taking 19 different options to figure out the correct bend method. It's doing 19 different variations, then it's going to go through and set all the back gauges and set up all the tooling, and then when it's done it'll either tell me it can or can't complete this on its own. So now I get a process number 2 that the Z value is out of limits. I'm going to go ahead and continue. This one's out of limits. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay, first off, I noticed that it treated each bend differently, so I'm going to go into the design. And I notice here on my bend lines, I've got these 2 bends that are right in a line that we can bend at one time. So I'm going to click the chain. I'm going to select each bend line, this one, and this one. Right click. And now it has an A drawn on here that you can see that tells me that they're now a common bend. So we've just eliminated one bend out of this part. So I'm going to go back to my bend technology. Ignore that it says the bends overlap. And I'm going to hit automatic technology one more time and see if it comes up with a better solution that it's doing less plans. So I'm going to delete the existing setup. Still tells me Z is out of limits. Same with process number 2. Let's see what's going on here after it's all done. Okay, so I'm going to go back up to the bend sequence and check what it comes up with. So we've got here bend 1, bend 2, bend 3, bend 4, bend 5, and bend 6. And then let's go check our fingers and see what's going on with the back gauges, why we're having a problem on that. First, I'll go over to the table here and see what's going on here. So it did this in 3 setups. So let's see what's going on here. Let's take a look at why it's using the 3 different setups here. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm just reviewing the setups here and saying now the tools are highlighted on which station's being used. So I'm looking to see if I can manually remove one of the setups. See, for bend 2, I think we can delete this one. Let's go ahead and try it. So we're going to hit Edit, and we're going to delete. It's on station 2. We're going to delete this station. Default's to none now, so I'm going to move this over to station 1. Say close. Okay, and I don't know why we can't move this one over to station 1. They look very similar there. Let's see what we can do here. So we're going to go edit again. Going to delete this station, move it over to station 1, close. Now I'm going to go down and do automatic setup plan, so it'll move the tools to where they belong. Delete the existing, yes. It went back to 3. So we'll have to go ahead and remove those stations again. Because when I did the automatic setup plan, it went ahead and changed my tooling stations again. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of this one, move it over to 1 again. So we'll go Edit, Delete, move it to station 1. Then we can just cycle through the processes. We'll delete station 2 and move this to station 1. Now we'll close it. And I'm going to go ahead and do a summary and do an automatic calculation on my summary. Still says my Z is out of limits. I'm going to see what's going on here real quick. There. Now if you're not sure in the summary, I can hit display axes down here. Now I can see my Z, so it's moving the Z too far left or right. One of the axes is moving too far out of the way. So I'm going to go ahead and see what's going on here again. Go down to 1 setup. Now I can edit this. Let's move this over to say 50 inches. There we go. It's now a little bit closer to the center. I'm going to go ahead and close that. And then now I'm just going to do automatic back gauges to recalculate the back gauges so they're not moving so far left and right. There, we finalized it. Now I'm going to go summary. I'm going to do auto calculation on my summary. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and run my part. Now I do have in the settings here on the display or somewhere in here. Okay, under processes, I've got collision check turned on. I'm going to go ahead and do a run of this part. Oops, if I can click the right button there. I accidentally clicked the help button right above that. So we'll hit play. And we're just going to sit back and watch it run through. I can zoom out a little, clicking on the view. Okay, it says bend part collides with tool or bottom machine frame. Let's go ahead and cancel and see what's going on here. We'll run it through. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and check this out and see where the collision is. Okay, looks like right there we're having a bit of an issue. But I don't see why we can't just slide this part down and let this section here go right into the die. I'm going to go ahead and see if we can do that. I'll go here. I'm going to edit this. Now it says part on station, so it's right there. So I can move this part. So I'm not sure where to move it to, but let's just take a guess here. Say accept. Okay, it moved it over a little. Let's zoom out. Yeah, we know we need to move over quite a bit, so I'm going to go 5 inches and see what happens. Go 8 inches. Okay, now I'm going to zoom in here. Zoom in, then I'll pan. I'm going to go over a little more, so it looks like let's go 7 and see if that works. 7's too far, so we'll go 7.5. And I think we quite don't have it just enough yet. Okay, that looks pretty good there, right on the edge. Maybe we can try to move it a little more. We'll go 7.4. Oh, 7.6, wrong direction. Again, I haven't had any training on this. Just been using it for about a day now. I think we're going to be good there. I'm going to go back to my standard view. I'm going to go back one step and let it play through. Okay, and then it's going to collide right there again. So let's see what we're going to do there. So we're going to have a collision there. I'm going to go back to my sheet layout. And I thought this might be a problem. Let's take a look on where it's colliding. It says BIM part collides with top tool Okay, we've got a bit of a problem here on this box. Okay, so therefore we are going to have to go with 2 stations on this. So no problem. I'm just going to go back to right here, and I'm going to go ahead and add another station on here. So we'll go edit, and we're going to insert another station. And what we'll do then, say close, and I did, so that's on station 2. So let's go ahead and see what happens here. So now it's updated it to station 2. Okay, now it says it collides with this station, so let's see here. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and let it just do the automatic. I can go back in here and edit it, and I can change different segments out. So on station 2, there's the segments we're using and the load on it. I can add a new one. I can look at what we've got. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and close this. I'm going to go back to automatic on the setup. And again, it's going to come back with 3 stations, so we'll have to remove one. Or we can even push them closer together, which would be okay as well. Right. So we'll go back to station 1. So station 2 now. So I'm going to go ahead and delete station 2 again. Move that over to station 1. Back on that one. Now what we'll do, go back to the beginning here, my tooling. Edit this. I want to slide the station down a little, bring them in a little closer together. Move this one to, let's try 30 or 25. Good. We'll cycle through, and then we'll move this one down to say maybe 50. Let's see how that looks. Nope, too close. 60. Let's go 70 on it. Yeah, I'm going to move it back to 65 inches. That looks pretty good there. So I'm going to close it. Now we're going to go ahead and rewind this and play the cycle again. Switch views. Now again, it says it's a collision. We went through this last time. So simple enough. We just need to go through and edit this. I'm sorry, mistake there. We just need to move the part. And if I remember right, I think it was 7.6 inches. We'll accept this. Pan over now. Looking okay on this, I think. I think we're going to be okay on that. Accept it. And go back to our normal view. Now I'm going to back up one step and go ahead and play it through again. So it collides with adjacent station. Okay, so the last one there. So we'll go ahead and cancel, and let's move these stations over a little bit. So maybe that's why the computer went ahead and chose to put them so far apart. So move that one to 20. Then we'll cycle through to the other station. We'll move this one over to, say, 80. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and, now that I put the tools back further apart, go ahead and play it through. Okay, I think we're looking pretty good. One last thing I want to double check is my finger locations. So I click on the finger button, and now I can adjust my fingers, make sure all those are good on each step of the way. Yeah, this one here we're going to do a little side angle on, and that one might be a little difficult to gauge off of. So let's see what our choices are. So I think on that one we're good. We'll click on the other tool. There is supposed to be a button here, but I'm using remote desktop to do this, so it's maybe a little bit different. We can go to step 16. There, so we'll catch it in that groove and see how that comes out. I think we're good to go. So we'll go back to summary. I'm going to go ahead and do an auto summary. And now I just go ahead and print my instructions, and I'm going to go File, Export as Bystronic BPX, and then we're all done.